Angry guy here, and women are shocked by how wicked they are to men. Women are shocked by how wicked they are to men. It's kind of interesting how bad things have gotten. I was actually looking at a comment posted by the Filipina page along with a picture. And Paige is awesome. She's a great person. You can check out her channel. But so what I'm saying is definitely not referring to her. But just look at this. Imagine arguing with a man about how you want to be treated when you could just replace him with somebody who treats you the way you want to be treated because men are disposable. And then, of course, it goes on to say, how simple, never argue. You can teach them how to treat you right. They can't even treat themselves right. 100% facts, life, chicks be like, dude be like, grown folks. So it's kind of insane. There you have it. And then Page says, Daily Shocker, Yelp, men are disposable. I can't comprehend. So it's intriguing because most women don't realize how poorly men are treated in Western society and how poorly women treat men, how women actually view men. And of course, there's immediately going to be a slew of women who are going to be furious that I would even dare to talk about the subject, to show you this picture, to show you what the words that are actually coming out of the mouths of women. Sims will immediately jump in and say that not all women are like this, and this is a form of, this is a terrible thing. You shouldn't be showing this because it can have negative ramifications for women and girls. I've literally had a woman jump in and say that to me, that this could have negative, showing this type of thing could have negative ramifications for women and girls. And I'm thinking to myself, bro, this is what women are saying themselves about men. I'm not saying anything. I'm just showing you what women are saying about men. I'm showing you what women actually think of men. I'm showing you how women treat men. And of course, they don't want men to see this, and they don't even want girls to see this because they want to cover it up and hide the things that they are saying and doing. This is how bad it is because they want the status. They want men to be ignorant. They want men to just accept the way things are, the poor treatment that they receive. They don't want men to talk to one another about what's happening to each other. This is the reason why they don't like the manosphere. They don't like men coming together. They don't like men having a voice. They don't like men having knowledge. They want men to be divided. They want men to just accept the poor treatment and believe that this is just how it should be. This is just how it normally is. It's not even though a woman calls you disposable and views you as disposable, they're not actually saying that you're disposable. They're saying that men who behave poorly are disposable. Like, this is not, I mean, once you start to understand women, you realize the games that they play and how they'll twist things immediately to deviate away from what they've actually said and done so they can take no accountability and face no social consequences for these things. It's crazy. But then, I mean, you can literally see this is the level of corruption of the modern day woman. And I've said this countless times. They don't like us. Women in Western society do not like us. And in every woman, there is a feminist. Feminism is not something that just manifested out of thin air. It was not something that some political group created or some government created. Feminism has always been around. Feminism is what led to the fall of the Roman Empire. At the beginning of the Roman Empire, they were thriving. Thriving. The average Roman citizen did not have to work, and men were firmly in control of the family and of the family unit and had authority over the woman. And then guess what ended up happening? They did so well and society was thriving so much, someone came up with the great idea, hey, let's introduce no fault divorce. And as soon as they introduced no fault divorce, like 50 to 60% of women began divorcing their husbands immediately. Immediately. And how bad did it get? Oh, let's see. You had women who were going to the Colosseum, getting into relationships with gladiators. You guys think I'm joking about this? You think I'm making this up? There's a show called Spartacus. I think it was Spartacus. And in the show, Like the queen is literally having an affair with a gladiator. I mean, come on. Come on. This was the norm. This was the absolute norm, that occurred once women were able to obtain no fault divorce, and they were allowed to divorce their husbands, take a part of their assets, and do these things. You had a lot of women in the Roman Empire that were going to the Colosseum, having affairs with gladiators, and then pay, because don't forget that these gladiators were basically, they were property. They were fighting in the Colosseums for their lives. And these women were basically buying the freedom of these gladiators, deleting their husbands, and then having relationships with these gladiators off the, living off their husband's wealth. Like, this is the reality. This is the absolute reality of it. And there are actually videos on YouTube where women are telling other women not to control alt delete their husbands, because this is something that happens a lot, and we don't talk about it. A lot of women control alt delete their husbands over greed. Guys, these people, they don't like us. They do not love us. Relationships have always been transactional between men and women. They have always been transactional between men and women. This is the reason why I say that, for example, the only type of friend that a man should have, the only type of friendship a man should have with a woman is a situationship. Okay? Where there is physical intimacy, guaranteed physical intimacy, without commitment or obligation. In other words, the man is not required to commit to her. He is not obligated to do anything for her, but they can spend time together. They are physically intimate, but they are not, but he is not committing. There is no commitment on his part. Could a situationship become a relationship? Sure, it can. But and that comes down to the man. But that's the only type of relationship. That's the only type of friendship that should exist between men and women, because men and women cannot be friends in the conventional sense of friendship, the way a woman can be a friend with another woman, and a man can be friends the way a man can be friends with another man. That is just how it is. And a lot of them don't want to hear it, but it's the honest to goodness truth. Women only want us for our toys. They only want us for what we have and what we can give to them. The best relationship that a man can have with a woman, where he's the one who's getting what he wants, is a situationship by default. A situationship. Because if you're not in a situationship, then guess what's happening? Chad and Tyrone, Ray Ray, Little Pookie, they're all getting it for free whenever they want it. Whenever they want it. It's the truth. Honestly, I think that, they say that, a lot of the best couples, they start out in as friends, and then before they become intimate. Yeah, how about that? Yeah, absolutely. We should start out in a situationship before we even start talking about friendship. We'll start out in a situationship. We can get to know each other in a situationship where there is physical intimacy. But I'm not obligated to take you on dates, to pay for your meals, to do anything for you. We can hang out. We can be friends. You pay for your stuff. I pay for my stuff. But that's about it. That's about it. That's friend. Those are the grounds of friendship. Because men and women cannot be friends, not in the same way that men can be friends. That a man can be friends with another man, and a woman can be friends with another woman. I'm just being real. I'm just being very, very honest. Guys, and even then, like I've said, and if you want, and even for those relationships, you shouldn't be doing those in Western society. Like, that's something for outside of Western society. Men and women in Western society cannot even, you can't even have you should not even have a situationship in the rest of society. Absolutely not. Like, there should be no, because it's just pointless. It is absolutely pointless. It's way too risky, and the experience is just going to be miserable, because they are just out to get their bag right now. The level of desperation is so insane. I mean, you legit have these women right now, like the Tradcon women. Like, this is just a hustle for them. This is 100% a hustle. Okay, it's like the Tradcons. They're hustlers. They are hustlers. They are just they are no different than your typical 304. They're no different than your typical 304. Why do I say that? Because just like the 304 is, wearing certain types of revealing outfits and all of these different things to attract the man, the typical Tradcon woman is basically, dressing up, like literally in many cases they are over, like some of these Tradcons look like 304s are basically 304s posing as, like, as wives, and they still dress like 304s. However, you'll have the other Tradcons where, like, they completely cover up from head to toe to the point that it's almost like they're dressed like a traditional Muslim woman. I mean, even more so. And it's like, what the heck is this? Why are you dressed like this? Like, it's 97 degrees outside. What have you ever heard of wearing a summer dress? Like, you're really overdoing it, bro. And it's clear that you're doing this because you're trying to attract a certain type of man, you know? And of course, the guy has to be wealthy. Like, he needs to be wealthy and have all of these different things. And then what's crazy about these same women is then they'll use the same crap that they use, that their sisters use, that are, they're that are revealing everything. When they get into a relationship, they don't want to be physically intimate, and they'll say the same thing. They'll say, oh well, physical intimacy is the purpose of physical intimacy is for reproduction. That's what God created it for. He created physical intimacy for reproduction. It's for making babies. So there's no obligation on the wife to be physically intimate just for lust. We are taught to avoid lust. Okay? The act of procreation is solely for reproduction. Like, this is what these women will say and do. And I want to ask you guys something. Think about this carefully. If she is like 24, 25 years old and she's married to you, and this is the way that she's behaving, and these are the things that she's telling you, do you really believe that she has no attraction and she has no desire for a man? Y'all are fooling yourselves. Y'all are fooling yourselves. Okay? A lot of these women who claim that they're not being intimate and that they're, oh, I was a V when I got, I had never been with a dude when I got married, and all of this other nonsense. They're telling lies because and in their heads they believe it's true because they're like, oh, because they're like, oh, I'm born again, so God washed it away, He restored everything. So that whole thing that happened in the past, like, those 17 guys that I was physically intimate with, He just washed that away. That those 35 guys that I was in, that old person, the person I used to be, that person that's not around anymore, was with, that never happened. Because God changed it. God washed it away. He restored my chastity. Like, this is how they absolutely think. And it's foolish. Like, guys think that they get into a relationship with these women and they think that these women are not, like, suddenly they just don't want to be physically intimate. Nah, they don't want to be physically intimate with you because they only married you for money and to be a provider. They hustled you, bro. They hustled, little bro. Listen up, little bro. Yeah, I'm talking to you, little bro. They hustled you, little bro. Y'all hustled, little bro. Y'all hustled. All right. Poncho is clapping those cheeks when you're not around. While you're at work and you're working your butt off, Poncho is clapping those cheeks. When you can't reach her, Poncho is clapping those cheeks. Okay. After he listened to me, he had a first. He had first. He had his burrito. He had his burrito. He had his back. She washes his back when he gets into the tub. She won't do it for you, but she makes sure to clean the tub for him. He loves bubble baths. He loves bubble baths. Little Pancho loves bubble baths, so she gets the tub nice for him, and he gets to the tub, and he even has like a rubber ducky. Yes, he does. And she brings a bottle of Corona with a nice piece of lime in it, and she keeps a case in the house for him, and it's ice cold, even though she tells you that you're not supposed to drink, right? And because it's ungodly, God doesn't want you getting drunk, but it's okay if it's little Pancho. And she brings him his cold tequila. She brings him his tequila and his Corona, and he's sitting in the tub, and she's washing his back and washing his hair, and he is so happy, and she's giving him little kisses. And then afterwards, he gets up and she dries him off like a baby. and he goes into the bedroom and lays in your bed, while you're busy at work, and he's there enjoying himself and just relaxing and feeling how good it is, to think that God, to think that all of this has been provided to him and he didn't have to do anything to earn it. And then she comes in and she lays down with him. After she washes up, she won't wash up for you, but she washes up for him. And they hug and they hug and they look into each other's eyes, and then the love making occurs. Yeah, and of course, and then they go to sleep. They go to sleep. She falls asleep in little Pancho's arms, and you're sending her messages telling her how much you love her. She's not responding to you because she's asleep. She's there. She's asleep. A little Pancho is snoring his little butt off because he has sleep apnea. He needs a CPAP machine. He doesn't want to go for a sleep study, and she's been constantly trying to tell him that he needs to go for the sleep study because she wants him to live. He needs to be there for her and their future children, because he's going to be the father of those children, because God has ordained it. Even though you're going to be the one raising them and providing for them, because he will always be their father. Those will always be his kids. All right, because he will be the biological dad, and she will of course find a way to make sure that he is always in their lives. Guys, if you're enjoying the content, help get the channel to 100,000 subscribers and our journey to 2 million by subscribing to the channel if you already haven't, liking the video, and turning on notifications to never miss another video ever again. Women are shocked by how wicked they are to men. What do you think regarding this? I want to hear your thoughts on this, so let's talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away. And cheers.